Welcome back to The Big Show. It's Alex Belfield talking to my favourite people and some of the world's biggest stars. Jodie Prenger, how are you?
What can I say? After a build-up like that, I'm fabulous.
Here we are at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, and I don't know how to say this. It's a bit awkward.
Why is it awkward?
Because I don't want to embarrass myself and I don't want to embarrass you. Is it okay if I go ahead? I just don't want to cause a problem.
I can see a tear welling up. Are you all right there? Do you want a hanky?
Will you marry me?
Oh, I've got to get killed by Bill. I'm sorry. If I didn't have a date with Bill tonight to get my head bludgeoned, I would. But, it's just not the time for me.
You are fabulous. You're delicious. You're entertaining. You're a big personality. You're everything that the West End deserves. And you're one of the few who's come from these reality shows who's going to make it, and you're going to be around forever because you can deliver. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That's really... It's an absolute honour to... it's always been my dream to ever be on the West End. And when I always say when you stood next to Rowan Atkinson and Bern Gorman, I think, am I having a freaky dream? I ate cheese before I've gone to bed or something. Do you ever do that? What is it when you eat cheese and then you go to... Anyway, back to the subject. I'm so scatty. But it is an absolute honour, and the cast are brilliant. And then, of course, I went to do Les Mis before, so I really have been welcomed in with open arms in the West End, and I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't.
And is it nice going in at the top? You've not really had to fight. You've come into a show that sells out.
Yeah, it's got swings and roundabouts about that, hasn't it? Because you can go in at the top and you've got so much more to risk to lose, rather than starting to work your way up. And don't get me wrong, I tried for so many years to get on the West End and kept getting knocked back, and that's what I always say to the people I meet at the stage door. You just keep on knocking, because one day that door's going to open. I feel a tear coming on now. No, but it's true, and I think if you always have a dream, always go and carry out and fulfil your dream, because dreams do come true. They do, Alex, they do.
I know, but what if you're just that moron on X Factor that everybody's laughing at, and really you should go and be a builder?
Join in and laugh with them, that's right. If you're a builder, isn't there a part for you in the YMCA or something like that? Just grow a tash and you're there. I think, I never understand that. You can kind of hear yourself. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy singing. I know I ain't no Beyonce, but I love telling a story with a song. And I think either they are the tone deaf, but you wonder how they hear you talk, don't you?
But again, in this business, it's so difficult because the amount of rejection letters you get. If you want to see my pals, everybody's told me I'm rubbish and
don't. Want to see your piles? I'm not a doctor, Alex. I don't really want to see that this early on in the day. Keep them to yourself.
This marriage thing's not going well, is it?
No, not if you tell me you've got piles. No.
And here we are then, sat in Star Dressing Room number 1 at this huge, great, big, whopping theatre. How does it feel when you look out and that pin focuses on you and it's all about Jodie singing those big numbers?
I always say there's not been a single night that I've gone out and I've been nervous every single time. And there's not been a single night when I get bored of singing As Long As He Needs Me. And trust me, I have sang it a lot of times, but every single time's different. And especially when I do the show, every single time's different, because one, there's 3 groups of kids, so there's all this interaction with the kids, and every scene I do is with they're gorgeous. They are my children. And sometimes, I shouldn't really say this, but we have a competition of who can say SpongeBob SquarePants to me without anyone seeing. But it just keeps it alive, and it keeps it... We have a laugh on stage. We really do, and I'm very, very proud, just as much to be working with Rowan Atkinson and Byrne and Julian Glover and Julian Bleach as I am with the kids, because they are just... To get out there at that age and stand in front of, over 2,000 people every single night.
The physical warm-up is about to take place.
Physical warm-up, and I'm sat here, so that's what a lot of people don't know. We're in the theatre on a matinee at 1:15. We have a massive physical warm-up. We have a massive vocal warm-up.
It's just so inspiring that these kids love it so much, because I don't think they could do it with such heart if they didn't.
No, I also think it's a great thing, if kids want to get involved in a local theatre school, it's just such a fantastic experience for them. We have, on the opening scene, I think there's about 50 children on stage, and they love it. They call me Auntie Jodie. It's hysterical. They are absolutely credits to the parents. A couple of naughty ones, but they're the fun ones, aren't they? I get them in trouble when I talk to them and stuff like that, but they are very, very well behaved children.
You've got a twinkle in your eye, and I think that's what people saw on the programme with Graham. You lived up to it, and you've got to be a bit naughty to be Nancy, because she's not a shrinking violet, is she?
No, she's not, and especially when she stands up at the end to the guy she's been in love with for years and got belted down by. That it takes a lot to risk your life on the love of a child, but that's what Nancy is. She's a diamond in the rough, and she's just such a great character, like the Papa. I love doing that song, getting the whole pub going. It's just, if you've not seen it, obviously you have. It's quite raunchy in bits, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing about you. If you don't mind me saying, you're gorgeous and all that, but you're a bit mucky as well.
Oh, thanks. I had a wash this morning as well. And to brush my teeth, especially.
But you've got to have that, haven't you? Because she's a woman that's been around the houses and slept in most of them.
She has, because Nancy is a lady of the night, shall we say. Yeah, she is. And that's the thing with Oliver. The story of it is so dark, and it's set in such a dark era. And it's amazing how Lionel Bart brings these magical songs that keep in your head for weeks. We've had people come back. We've already had people come to the show like 6-7 times. It's fantastic. And I said, I went home and I was singing Pick a Pocket, and I went home, I was singing that Papa for ages, but it's Bill's like a robber. Fagin, works a load of kids to go rob off people, but the music and the good feels factor that comes out of it that's what Oliver's all about. But I think back, and a year ago, I never in a month of Sundays ever expected to be doing all this. But there's not been one thing that, I've disliked or anything like that, at all. I've loved it all.
Well, wait till the end of the interview before you decide that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, out of all the interviews I've ever done, you've been one of them.
And again, the show itself is big. This is a huge, great big venue.
It is. Let's have a little historical moment here. It's the biggest theatre in the whole of the West End. I think it's one of the largest theatres in Europe. It's huge. I think it holds 2,300, and it's sold out every single night. It's amazing, isn't it? You get your money's worth. I'm from the north. You come to Oliver, you get your money's worth. That's what I tell them.
That'll be £15,000 for that advert, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
You must have been born doing this, being Jodie, because there's no amount of theatre school, live cabaret, doing the clubs can make you a personality. You were just that from the beginning.
And I bet so many people are thinking, God help her parents. Do you know, I always say I owe everything I ever have done to my family, because they brought me up and they've put up with me as scatty as I am, and they've supported me all the way through. And I always remember I learned so much off my nan, because we used to have hotels in Blackpool. My nan couldn't sing. There's no musicality in the family. My brother plays the drums, and my mum can't sing a tune. Oh God, I love her. And but my nan used to get up and mime to Shirley Bassey and do all that. So I think I learned it off my nan.
What's your favourite song from the show then? Yours, of course.
One of mine. It's got to be As Long As He Needs Me, isn't it? But the reprise gets you there. I'm actually banging my chest from my heart.
We're back with our remaining moments with Jodie Prenger, the big star of Oliver. And you really are, and I'm not being disparaging to anybody else, but I love you.
I love you too.
It's the northern thing, though, isn't it? That you just come on and you do steal it. And I know there's an old...
I'm not northern on stage, though. I've got to be a right cockney, which was really good, actually, learning. I sound like schizophrenic, don't I?
It's the same thing, though, isn't it? The northern warmth and the cockney warmth is much the same thing.
Very similar, yeah. I think it's like... one woman said, "Oh, you're right, tart with an R, aren't you?" I was like, "Oh, thank you." I think no, it is. It's very. But do you know? It's like you go into. I mean, I've been into the East End, and to listen to how it's brilliant. Get yourself down there. The pie and mash. What's that all about? What happened to chips like with gravy on them?
Somebody said to me today, "Who's this Jodie Prenger?" Then I said, "Well, she's like a cross between Alan Carr and Jay McDonald."
Is that a compliment?
I think it's a compliment.
I like her. Do you know, I love Jay McDonald, actually. I went, met her twice when I did Loose Women. So, yeah, I see the, northern singer.
So here we are then, before a show. There's about an hour and so till you go on. What do you have to do now?
Vocally, you got to warm up. Physically, you got to warm up. Then you get into your frock. You get into your corset. The cleavage was wonderful. And then you go into, you do your makeup and then the wigs. So there's so much preparation. I mean, I've only got one frock. But there's some girls that they change 6 times in one show, and with 10 seconds in between a change. People don't realise that when you come and see a show, you're seeing all that's going on stage, but backstage it's just electric. People are darting one side to the other, and It's great. It's a great atmosphere.
And it's also very dangerous, isn't it?
It was dangerous the other night because I was finished singing Papa, right? And I come off the table to go down and meet my bill. And I fell off the stool, didn't I? Oh, I did. I went full out. It was like an Elvis dive. And I thought maybe they haven't seen me, but the audience went, ooh. Yeah, my pride hurt.
I'd pay good money to see that. Not because I want to see you fall, but it's just something rare, isn't it?
Oh, I love stuff like that. Burns falling down the stairs. I call it where Nancy comes in, it's like a plug hole, but it's not, it's like a grid. And I fell down there a couple of times. The kids love it keeps them entertained.
And of course, the one thing I've got to talk to you about as a clinically obese man is that you're now delicious.
Do you know that's the thing, right? Stuff what they say with all this clinically obese stuff. It's your height and all this BMI. But I mean, I went from being 22 stone and you've just got to be happy in your skin, and all this size 0 is just go off in a corner, eat your own lettuce leaf. Leave the real people to get on with their life. That's what I say.
But you do look tremendous now, and having seen all the articles about it, I mean, I think people are so fascinated how you go from that to this. And you were one of those, and I don't know whether this is a compliment or not, but they said, God, she's so pretty.
And this is what I always say, and I've had so many little emails from women saying, oh, thank you for making me feel normal. I'm a size 14. I would only ever go between a size 12 and 14, because when I did go to a size 10, I felt too thin. I didn't feel physically well, and that's just me. And I just think be happy in your own skin and just enjoy life. It's just so many people don't, because they're all kind of thinking, oh, I can't, I've got to be super thin, I've got to be super, and you can't. Trust me, I've been at both ends of the scale.
Congratulations on this role. How long are you going to be in it for? This is what we need to talk about.
To March. I'm going to be here to March. So I always say as long as he needs me. I mean, Cameron's been just brilliant and so
because he didn't like you. I didn't like the way he treated you when he came on the programme.
I think a lot of it, when he said it, I think it's one of those things, there was 2 girls. You had to say one name, didn't you? But so many people asked that, oh, how's he been with you? And he's just been, I've been at his house. He's even cooked for me. He's a right little chef. He's good. I might hire him for a party. And he's been so supportive. Really, the card, it's up here, he wrote, you can't see, but I'm in my dressing room. And the card that he wrote for me, it literally made me cry. He's just been brilliant.
He'd have replaced you by now. He didn't need to keep you in, did he?
So true, because your contract, you get a 6 months contract, and if they like you, you stay, and if you don't, as Duncan Bannatyne says, you don't. You've got to keep coming. I think people just want to see the biggest show in the West End, which, touch wood, it's just an honour to be part of.
Is there anything else after this that you'd like to do? Is there any dream role that you've got your eye on?
See, I've always said Gypsy. I love Gypsy, and it would be amazing to go do Broadway, but I don't want to go and leave my mum and dad, and I've got my dogs here. I'm a right home bird. It's the first time I've ever lived away from home, which is just strange. You have to buy your own toilet roll, which I'm not happy about. And it's just, I don't think I'd do that yet. So I'd just say he'll ever put up with me.
And you seem incredibly happy. Is everything going well in your life? Could it be better?
No, it can't. How sad's that? It's always, do you know what? Positive outlook. Always think good things. But then sometimes I think, but you sometimes think, is the bubble going to burst? But just enjoy it while you can.
And regarding my initial proposal?
Well, I've got a new fella, I'm afraid. I do apologise.
What's he got that I haven't then?
He's got a lovely bum.
Jodie Prenger, I love you because you just steal the stage. You are Nancy, and you were destined to get it, and I'd have started a riot if you hadn't got it.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to see the riot, though. That would have been interesting. I wonder what it made the news.
Well, I don't think they'd have listened, but it'd been worth it, wouldn't it?
You could try. You can always try.
The Theatre Royal Drury Lane is the place to see Jodie Prenger 6 times a week, and she's off Wednesday evenings and Thursday evenings, then she's back rocking and rolling as Nancy in this tremendous musical, Oliver. Thank you so much for talking to me. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant.